Okay, so recording. Hello, everybody. My name is Tyler, and welcome to a brand new podcast. Welcome to a brand new episode. How are you doing today? I am doing good. For the moment, it is stop. This is the last day of May. So for everyone who's ending May today at the time of recording, hello. So I'm going through my notes, and normally this would be a situation where we just talk about subjects that are on my mind, and I go through a list of topics, and it's really hard. I have a whole list, so I don't know if these are things I can just talk with a friend of mine, because they feel kind of boring. But to make today and this episode's less boring, we're going to go through some hot takes and hills to die on. Essentially, I'm taking inspiration, and I'm stealing the idea from when Markiplier and his friends did it on Distractables. Distractable is a podcast with those three beans, and they're doing and talking the grapevine. And so one of the videos was a whole thing about hot takes and hills to die on. Their prompt was to upvote the hottest takes, and I thought it'd be fun if we just go down the subreddit of the hottest takes, and the whole thing. Let's see. So let's just go ahead and kind of just go through it. I feel like it'd be fun. It'd be fun to just talk about it, just spit the shit. Okay, so the most upticked take was, it's weird to sleep without socks on. And I don't think it's a hot take. It's actually kind of it's lukewarm. I think the whole concept of just sleeping without socks on is a thing. Case in point, I sleep without socks. Only because my body runs warm. I'm a big guy. I'm 235 dancing between, and so I generate a lot of heat. It'll get hotter depending on if I worked out, or if I was active that day. So I like to run the room cold to help me regulate my body. I feel like it's kind of sad. So it also depends on when I wear covers, because wearing socks going to bed is the same thing as do you sleep in the covers, do you sleep in the comforter? And I do sometimes. I sometimes will put on a sweater and sweats, and that's my pajamas, or I just wear trunks, and that's about it. I range the amount of clothing I wear going to bed really varies, but I will always wear socks off, because that is the last place where I can at least regulate my body temperature. I don't think it's a really huge hot take. But let me see what's some of the comments about that. The number one mentioned where all week you wear socks to sleep to make school more miserable, but when a weekend comes, I always take them off to sleep, and that what makes the weekends more special. It's a weird ritual. Okay, I can understand to where you're changing your routine to separate yourself from being at school and being at work or being at home, because this student wears socks when they know they're going to school or when they know they're going to work. Okay, how does that make school work more reasonable? I don't understand. Let's see. Gross, I don't want sweaty feet. I only wear socks in bed if it's freezing cold. And yeah, I can understand that, but why wear socks when you can wear a cool sweater, man? You can wear merch. You can wear sweatpant merch. I also have a weird thing to wear when I go to the gym. I can never wear shorts going into an indoor setting or an outdoor setting. I don't normally wear shorts in public even. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of my insecurities, because I'm confidently proud of my calves. I am confident in my legs. I can't say I know where it came from. I think because when I was younger, I got hurt a lot to where I would scrape my leg, scrape my knee, and that gets hurt. And since then, I'm traumatized to never wear shorts because when I wore shorts, I always got hurt. Scraped knee. I have a scar on my left leg that's like looks like the continent of Madagascar, and so that's a whole thing to where I just can't wear shorts anymore. I'll wear shorts if I am forced to. I can wear shorts now, but normally if I had the opportunity, I will wear shorts and I will wear jeans. I will dye with pants, and I will wear shorts at home because I feel secure, I feel safe, comfortable. I will not get a rug burn, or like I will get a rug burn. I've done that before, but that's nothing compared to falling and getting a scraped leg, scraped knee. I'm fine with that. That's like kind of some of the things I don't do. I do. It's not weird to wear socks sleeping. That's what I think. The next one was cartoons for adults shouldn't exist. You're supposed to grow out of cartoons when you're like 11. Imagine a 40-year-old laughing at a cartoon is just creepy. That is rude. That is rude. And this person should have been the most upvote because cartoons are a medium in the same way that video games are. You can make the same case about this person could make the same case about video games, about comic books, because this is a medium to which you can enjoy media, entertainment, art. And if you can enjoy art, but if you can harmlessly enjoy something without bothering anyone, then who cares? Who cares if you watch SpongeBob reruns? SpongeBob reruns are kind of funny because there are adult jokes within a TV show, within a children's show, and there's a lot of relatable memes. In hindsight, in 2030, there's a lot of memes that can relate because of SpongeBob. There's just so much things to like enjoy cartoons with. There's Korra, the Legend of Korra, Legend of Avatar, The Last Airbender. There are things that are people enjoying. There is BoJack Horseman, which is targeting adults. You can have a platform that targets age group. BoJack Horseman is the show about a it's kind of situational. It's like a situation of like, what if Uncle Jesse went downhill when the only highlight of their career was Full House. That's BoJack Horseman, essentially. I'm sorry, Uncle Jesse, I love you, but BoJack Horseman is in a situation where it plays the joke on a family of someone with a family sitcom success, and they're just coasting on the benefits and the royalties from it. And so he keeps trying to he's failing and failing as an adult. And sometimes, even though we're not in the same situation, there are other adults within that show where you're struggling, and that's reasonable. That's okay. You can struggle and still be an adult. And some of the topics that you can touch on topics that you can't do in real life that can only be expressed in cartoon. Like, for example, there was a character, Diane, which is a very loving Vietnamese individual. It's great to where she over the course of the series was slowly gaining weight, but nobody talked about it. Nobody talked about how no one judged her about her weight, but they were attacking real issues. That's another way of attacking an issue. Like, you don't talk about it because that shouldn't make or break your reason to have a conversation, and that's really good. That's great, and I love that bit. So BoJack Horseman is a great cartoon. There's also Archie. There's also Cat Dog. There's Doug. The earliest cartoon I've watched was, I can't think of it. I wish I could think about it, but unfortunately, I'm having an issue thinking about my early cartoon. So, one of the a few upticked comments were, strongly disagree, take my upvote. I particularly get where you may come from. in the sense that you may find grown adults watching cartoons made for children a bit creepy depending on the context, and it does depend on context. You can watch Peppa Pig in Japanese, and you can understand and you can learn and understand Japanese language better. Sea Dog VA said he watched Peppa Pig in Japanese, and it helped him learn Japanese so much quicker because it's geared towards children who is also like in the mental capacity and mental state of just learning. And so like it's all depending on context how you use cartoons. And you suck, number one. However, the sole purpose of an adult cartoon is that adults have a space outside of children's cartoon to be able to enjoy a specific art media, because that is really and that's really cartoons and animations are, just a different way to showing art. You can enjoy the Justice League, you can enjoy Marvel Comics, and they can portray your favorite superheroes or favorite content easier in cartoon form. If you live action it, that's a lot of money, and you can barely, and even then sometimes the art is faulty live action. But if you do it in a cartoon medium, it's more digestible. People can enjoy it better. And so you just have to keep your opinion about it. An adult watching content specifically aimed towards them is not creepy or harmful. Hentai is not harmful, right? And the fact that this content happens to be animated does not imply childish intent either. And even if adults do find some cartoons funny, what's the matter with that? Sometimes people watch cartoons from their childhood to bring back some nostalgia, have a few laughs, take a break from adulting every now and then. There's only so much life a human can handle at a time, and having a familiar comfort show to fall back on when you're stressed is not harming anyone. It really doesn't. If I could, I wouldn't mind. Actually, I wouldn't mind reintroducing cartoons to Joanna. I would love to like sit down with her and have her watch the original Full Metal Alchemist. I would like for her to watch Outlaw Star. That's how I got the red hair when I did it. That's how I can introduce like all those like bad 90s Street Fighter movies that I liked, or King of Fighters. I wish I can just reintroduce things to my kids in the future. There are cartoons when I was younger that shaped me for who I am. And so yeah, just if it's not hurting anyone, what's your problem? Let's see. That was the fastest they've ever uploaded. Ketchup belongs in chicken noodle soup. I'll actually try it. I can't say my opinion about that, but I will definitely try chicken noodle soup with ketchup. It's because like it's if it adds flavor, then sure. It's kind of like adding soy sauce to ramen. It's kind of like adding mayonnaise to hot dogs. It's how you enjoy food. So I'm never gonna knock down food until I try it. The next one is Star Wars is kind of overrated. Soggy cereal superior. Summer is the worst season. Okay, Star Wars is kind of overrated. It's mid. I'm okay. I'm comfortable with Star Wars because I like watching it. I like being in the world of Star Wars. My only issue is I don't have time to keep up with the lore, because after Disney, and there's a whole thing about Disney and Lucasfilms to where continuity stopped at a certain point, and Disney forced fans to start over at a certain like timeline. So allegedly the Lucasfilms timeline is over, but now coming in 2030, there's a situation where they're making some things canon again, so that it appeases old fans as much as new fans. So that's the thing. Soggy cereal is superior. I don't like soggy cereal. I either like it dry. I feel like the milk is a flavor enhancer. I feel like milk is a situation where milk, almond milk, soy milk, regular milk is an enhancer to good cereal. If the cereal is good by itself, great. If it enhances by having liquids, wonderful. However, there are situations to where if you think soggy cereal is superior, then it's either because you're having really bad cereal and you need to drown it and sog it to make it taste better, or you're just having the wrong cereal. But also, I've had a situation to where my mom had eaten cereal with warm water, and I don't know why. I think it's because of a dietary reason or because of her system can accept it better. But she could have had almond milk or soy milk or or something other than dairy. I don't know why. Summer is the worst season. Summer is a tough season to be in. You have to spend so much money on an AC unit. I just bought an AC unit finally, and it costed me a lot of money. But to be used for some parts of spring and some parts of fall, but if it keeps you alive in the worst temperatures, fine, that's cool. That's worth it. It's a tool to survive a season. But then the problem is, like, you're spending this much money, and if you divide it up by like 90 days, let's check the math right now. Actually, if I were to like quantify it, I'm looking at the price of it before tax, and I'm dividing it by how many days the season is. I mean, actually, to be fair, it's actually a pretty good deal, because when you consider, essentially, if I'm going to survive summer, which is a 3-day situation, I am paying $10. I'm paying $8 to $10 a day for comfort in my home when I stay home, and honestly, I can accept that. I can accept that to have comfort for 90 days, $10, $8 to $10 a day for 90 days. It'd be fine. I think it's actually, summer is not that bad if you have the right tools. You need tools to survive conditions. But that is again somebody's hot take. Let's see. Anime is not good and not entertaining. And there are a lot of bad. I'll admit, I can understand to where this hot take comes from, because there's a lot of situations to where there's an issue. This will be the last question, by the way. But there's a situation where hot takes in anime can only go so far. There's a problem with anime to where there's a reason why there is like 400 odd episodes of Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. However, the manga chapters are a lot lower, and that's because there's an issue with serialization. There was a time in the early 2000s where you had to have had anime come out every week, and what happens is, by the time the anime catches up with the manga, you need filler to give the manga more time to make content so that we can then animate that. And sometimes the fillers may not be canon anymore, because everything that's canon is from the manga, and it becomes a split multiverse to where some of the fillers are canon and referenced in anime only, and other times there's one panel or one thing that references the filler in the manga, because case in point, sometimes anime can produce fillers to help expand certain points in manga, but also you can come to a downward spiral where the filler may kill the anime while the manga still lives on. And nowadays in 2020, we're having anime that is bite-sized, and seasons happen every 6 months to every year to give anime time to produce content. Case in point, Demon Slayer is a really good anime. However, because it follows the season algorithm, so it'll release seasons every 4 to 6 months to a year, and that gives the creators so much more time to animate the manga, because as of right now, currently, the manga itself, the source material, has ended at 100 chapters, and animators for Demon Slayer is going to have a lot of more time to develop the sakuga, the artwork for it. The only exceptions really depend, like One Piece. One Piece is the arcs between One Piece in the anime and One Piece in the manga are very like almost close to each other, to where we just reached we reached a point in the anime to where there is so much hype already, and the manga is like 100 odd chapters ahead of it, or 50 odd chapters ahead of it, which is really good. It provides time for the anime to catch up to the manga, and this is a rare situation to where the manga leads the anime, and the anime will be on hiatus until the manga produces content. So you have to find anime where it's good. You have to track anime sometimes based on the manga, and it really depends. The recent anime for Shaman King is very it's the anime is very mid. I would give it 4 out of 10, only because the manga was really good. I found the manga very good, but I can't remember. I'll have to reread the manga, but towards the end of the 50 episode serialization of the anime, things were getting lazy. Things were getting shortcutted to where characters had an epiphany, but it never gets resolved, because you get one explosion picture and then they somehow win because of plot armor, and it just sucks to where there are some situations to where anime takes a dive because they're out of budget, or they have to rush the anime because like they don't have that many episodes left. And it just really, there's a lot of exposition in some animes too, so you have to like gauge it and place it where you want to do it. I just wish the anime was better. So this anime hot take is a great way to end the episode for today. I think when I come back home from work, I'll definitely go through it a little more. I'll definitely talk about more hot takes later on, because like this is great for conversation. I am stealing this idea. Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you so much for other people who have hot takes, and I will scour the internet for other hot takes, because that's probably like a good way to like have conversation. And so I may revisit this with my friend and we'll produce content for it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed it, please consider following me on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, on social media. You can find me on social media at Wtphu. That's Wtphu. On Facebook is different at Wtphu Gaming. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. And as always, I'm Tyler. I'm your friend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.